Have you ever poured your heart and soul into someone, a friend, a partner, or even a workplace, only to feel undervalued and overlooked? It's one of the most frustrating experiences in life. You give your best, you invest your energy, and yet it feels like your presence is taken for granted. Why does this happen? And more importantly, how can you turn things around, not through vengeance, but through transformation? Here's the common misconception. People often think the only way to make someone regret undervaluing them is through direct confrontation or shallow displays of success. But Stoicism teaches us a deeper, more profound path, a journey of self-improvement and inner peace that doesn't just change how others perceive you, but how you perceive yourself. What if I told you there's a way to reclaim your power, become the best version of yourself, and let your life naturally make them regret not appreciating you? The answer isn't about revenge, it's about growth. It's not about focusing on them, it's about focusing on you. And by doing so, you create a life so vibrant, so fulfilling, that their regret becomes inevitable. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 11 transformative ways to make them regret not valuing you. Each step is designed to empower you, help you grow, and inspire you to live your best life. By the end of this, you'll have the tools to shift your mindset and create a reality where you're deeply valued by yourself and others. So, let's dive in. 1. Focus on self-growth and improvement. Here's the foundation of everything: self-growth. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting others to validate us. But the truth is, their opinions don't define your worth, you do. So how do you make them regret not valuing you? By turning inward and committing to becoming the best version of yourself. Ask yourself, are you growing every day? Are you learning, improving, and becoming the person you've always wanted to be? Growth doesn't happen overnight, but every step forward counts. Imagine looking back in a year and seeing how far you've come. That's the power of focusing on yourself. Start by setting clear goals. Maybe you've always wanted to learn a new language, master a skill, or get in shape. Why wait? Begin today. When they see you thriving, building a better version of yourself, they'll question why they didn't appreciate you when they had the chance. This isn't about showing off or proving something to others. It's about building a life you're proud of. One of the principles of Stoicism is focusing only on what you can control. You can't control their thoughts, but you can control your actions. Every book you read, every skill you learn, and every step you take towards self-improvement creates a ripple effect that reshapes how others perceive you. Let's say you've been undervalued at work. Instead of stewing in resentment, consider upgrading your skills. Take a course, attend a workshop, or get certified in something new. Not only will you boost your confidence, but you'll also position yourself for better opportunities. And when the time comes, those who undervalued you will realize they missed out on someone extraordinary. But this is about more than just external achievements. Growth also happens internally. Are you working on your emotional health? Are you practicing self-reflection? When you cultivate inner peace, it shows. The way you carry yourself calm, composed, and confident will make them wonder what changed. Think about it. People regret undervaluing others when they see them thriving in ways they never expected. So focus on your growth, not to seek revenge, but to fulfill your potential. The regret they feel, that's just a side effect of your transformation. Now, pause and reflect. What's one area of your life you can start improving today? Comment below, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's keep this conversation going because your growth is what matters most. 2. Set clear boundaries. One of the most liberating and empowering steps you can take is to set clear boundaries with those who undervalued you. Think about it. How often have you allowed people to overstep because you didn't want to seem confrontational or unkind? How many times have you compromised your own comfort just to keep the peace? The hard truth is, people often undervalue us because we allow it. When we fail to establish boundaries, we send a message, whether intentional or not, that we're okay with being treated as an afterthought. But not anymore. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. not selfishness. It's a way of saying, I value myself enough to ensure my needs and feelings are acknowledged. And when you do this, you immediately shift the dynamic. The people who once took you for granted will start to notice. They may not like it at first, they may push back or try to guilt you, but deep down, they'll begin to understand that they no longer have the freedom to disrespect you. Let's explore how to put this into practice. Start small if you need to, but start somewhere. If someone always interrupts you or dismisses your opinions, calmly but firmly point it out. Say something like, I'd like to finish my thought before we move on. If someone constantly oversteps your time or energy, be upfront. I need to focus on other priorities right now, so I can't commit to this. This might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to being the person who always says yes. But remember, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control. You can't control how others react to your boundaries, but you can control your decision to set and maintain them. And over time, you'll notice a shift. You'll feel more confident, more at peace, and yes, more valued. Now here's where the magic happens. When you set boundaries, you'll inevitably draw a line in the sand between those who genuinely respect and care for you and those who only stayed because of what they could take from you. And that's a good thing. Letting go of people who can't respect your boundaries creates space for those who will. It's not about revenge, it's about self-preservation and creating a life that aligns with your worth. Here's something to think about. Have you ever noticed how people often don't realize what they've lost until it's gone? When you start to enforce your boundaries, the people who undervalued you will feel the impact. They'll realize they no longer have unlimited access to your time, energy, or kindness. And in that moment, regret will creep in. They'll remember all the times they took advantage of your generosity or ignored your needs, and they'll wish they'd treated you better. But let's be clear, setting boundaries isn't about making others feel bad. It's about prioritizing your well-being. It's about recognizing your value and refusing to settle for anything less. This aligns perfectly with the philosophy of Stoicism. Focus on your internal strength, practice self-discipline, and remain true to your principles, no matter how others behave. If you're wondering where to start, consider this. What's one area of your life where you feel consistently drained or unappreciated? Is it a one-sided friendship? A workplace where your efforts go unnoticed? A relationship where your needs are never met? Identify the source and take the first step toward creating boundaries. Even a small change, like saying no to an unreasonable request, can be transformative. By setting boundaries, you're teaching others how to treat you, and just as importantly, you're teaching yourself that you deserve respect. This simple yet powerful act can change the entire dynamic of your relationships. People will start to see you as someone who values their own time and energy, someone who commands respect. And for those who undervalued you, they'll regret it. They'll see that you're no longer willing to accept less than you deserve, and they'll wish they'd appreciated you when they had the chance. Now, if this resonates with you, do me a favor. Hit that like button and comment number 1 below to let me know you're ready to prioritize your self-worth and set those boundaries. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. We're just getting started on this journey of empowerment and transformation. Remember, your value isn't determined by anyone else's opinion. It's defined by how you treat yourself and the boundaries you're willing to uphold. So stand tall, draw the line, and watch how your life begins to transform. They'll notice, they'll regret, and most importantly, you'll thrive. Stay tuned for the next step. It's only getting better from here. 3. Shine in your achievements. There's something undeniably powerful about quiet success. It doesn't boast, it doesn't seek approval, but it commands attention. When you focus on your goals and achieve them, not out of a need for validation, but as a reflection of your own drive, something magical happens. Your achievements become undeniable, and those who once undervalued you begin to take notice, whether they admit it or not. Consider this. How often do we allow the opinions of others to dictate our actions? How many times have you hesitated to pursue a dream or share an accomplishment because you feared it wouldn't be celebrated? The truth is, their lack of acknowledgement says more about them than it does about you. But here's where Stoicism provides clarity. Your efforts and achievements are for you, not for their applause. So what does it mean to truly shine in your achievements? It starts with setting goals that align with your values. These aren't goals designed to impress anyone else. They're personal milestones that reflect who you are and who you're becoming. Maybe it's excelling in your career, finishing a creative project, or overcoming a personal challenge. Whatever it is, let it be a pursuit that feels meaningful to you. Imagine the impact of dedicating yourself fully to these goals. Picture the late nights, the hard work, and the quiet victories along the way. Every step forward builds momentum, not just externally but internally. You begin to trust yourself more, to believe in your capacity to grow and succeed. And while you're immersed in this journey, something fascinating happens. People start to notice. The colleague who dismissed your ideas suddenly realizes you've outpaced them in performance. The friend who never supported your ambitions now sees you thriving in ways they never expected. The partner who undervalued your presence begins to understand what they lost. But here's the best part. By the time they notice, you're so invested in your own growth that their recognition feels irrelevant. Shining in your achievements doesn't mean flaunting your success or rubbing it in anyone's face. It's about letting your results speak for themselves. When you walk into a room with quiet confidence, when your actions consistently align with your goals, and when your life reflects your values, people can't help but see it. And those who didn't value you, their regret becomes inevitable. This isn't about proving them wrong, it's about proving yourself right. When you focus on what truly matters, your growth, your happiness, your fulfillment, you create a life that's not only impressive but deeply satisfying. And in doing so, you embody one of Stoicism's key principles, living in accordance with your virtues, not for the approval of others. Here's something to reflect on. What's one area of your life where you've been holding back? Is it a dream you've put on hold because you didn't feel supported? A skill you've wanted to develop but doubted your ability? Now is the time to embrace that challenge, not for anyone else but for you. And remember, success doesn't always come in big, dramatic moments. It's the result of consistent effort, small wins, and the courage to keep going even when no one is watching. Over time, these small victories compound into something extraordinary. And when people finally take notice, it won't be because you sought their approval. It'll be because your growth is impossible to ignore. Let your life be the proof of your worth. Let your achievements shine as a reflection of your dedication and resilience. And when they regret undervaluing you, don't let it distract you from the path you're on. After all, you're not doing this for them. You're doing it for the person you're becoming. And that's a journey worth every step. 4. Build an incredible social circle. There's a saying that we become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. Who's in your circle? Are they lifting you up, inspiring you, and helping you grow? Or are they draining your energy, undermining your confidence, and contributing to the feelings of being undervalued? If it's the latter, it's time to make a change, not to spite anyone, but to elevate yourself in your life. Building an incredible social circle is one of the most effective ways to make people regret not valuing you. Why? Because when you surround yourself with people who see your worth, support your dreams, and celebrate your successes, you start to glow differently. You exude confidence and joy, and those who took you for granted can't help but notice. Start by evaluating your current relationships. Are there people in your life who make you feel small or unimportant? Are there friendships or connections that seem one-sided, where you're always giving but rarely receiving? It might be time to step back from those dynamics. Letting go of toxic or draining relationships creates space for healthier, more fulfilling ones. Now, turn your attention to the kind of people you want to surround yourself with. These should be individuals who inspire you, challenge you to grow, and genuinely value who you are. Seek out mentors, join communities aligned with your interests, or reconnect with friends who share your values. Remember, the goal isn't to impress others, it's to build a support system that uplifts and energizes you. When you invest in a strong social circle, you create a powerful contrast for those who undervalued you. They'll see you thriving in relationships filled with mutual respect and admiration, and they'll realize what they missed. They'll recognize that you're no longer waiting for their approval because you've surrounded yourself with people who already see your worth. This transformation is especially impactful in Stoic relationships, where the focus is on mutual respect, understanding, and shared growth. Stoicism teaches us to seek value within ourselves, but having a network of people who reflect that value back to us amplifies our sense of self-worth. It's not about being dependent on others, it's about choosing to connect with those who align with your values and vision. Here's a simple exercise. Take a moment to write down the qualities you want in your social circle. Do you want friends who are ambitious, kind, creative, or supportive? Use this as a guide to assess your current relationships and to seek out new ones. Over time, you'll find that your circle becomes a reflection of the best parts of yourself. Imagine how it feels to walk into a room filled with people who light you up, who celebrate your wins, and who stand by you in tough times. That energy is magnetic, and those who undervalued you will feel the shift. They'll see that you've built a life filled with meaningful connections, and they'll regret not being part of it. But this isn't about rubbing your new social circle in anyone's face. It's about creating a life that feels full and authentic. When you focus on quality relationships, you naturally elevate every aspect of your life. The regret they feel is simply a byproduct of your growth, not the goal. If you're ready to prioritize your social circle and make this change, show some love. Hit the like button and comment number 1 below to let me know you're committed to building relationships that reflect your worth. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel for more insights and tools to help you create a life filled with confidence, growth, and meaningful connections. Your time and energy are precious. Choose wisely who gets to share in them. And as your circle strengthens, so will your sense of self, and that's when the real transformation begins. Stay tuned because the next step will take this journey even further. 5. Embrace your independence. Independence is one of the most underrated yet powerful qualities you can cultivate. It's not just about being able to stand on your own 2 feet. It's about thriving on your own terms, free from the need for external validation. When you embrace your independence, you send a clear message to the world. I am enough as I am, and I don't need anyone else to define my worth. This mindset shift is transformational, not just for you, but also for those who undervalued you. Independence creates a natural magnetism. When you're no longer reliant on others for emotional, financial, or social support, it forces people to reassess their perception of you. Those who once took your presence for granted begin to see you in a new light. So how do you embrace independence in a way that empowers you? Start by identifying areas where you may feel overly dependent on others. This could be emotional reliance, financial ties, or even seeking approval for every decision. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward reclaiming your autonomy. For instance, if you've been emotionally dependent on someone who undervalued you, focus on building your inner resilience. This might involve journaling, practicing mindfulness, or even seeking support from a therapist. The goal is to develop a strong sense of self that doesn't waver based on how others treat you. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to focus on our internal stability rather than external circumstances. By cultivating emotional independence, you create an unshakable foundation. Financial independence is another key aspect. If you've been in a situation where you relied on someone financially, be it a partner, family member, or employer, taking steps to achieve your own financial stability can be incredibly empowering. This doesn't mean you have to become wealthy overnight, but creating a budget, saving consistently, or pursuing opportunities to increase your income can help you take control of this aspect of your life. Beyond emotional and financial independence, consider your social independence. Are you able to enjoy your own company? Do you pursue activities that bring you joy, even if no one else is involved? Developing a sense of self-sufficiency in your social life is a powerful statement. It shows that you're content and confident on your own, which can be deeply inspiring to others and even make those who undervalued you question their decisions. One of the most compelling aspects of independence is the freedom it brings. When you're independent, you're no longer tied to the opinions or expectations of others. You make decisions based on what's best for you, not on what others want or think. This kind of freedom is a cornerstone of Stoicism. It allows you to focus on your values, your growth, and your happiness without being weighed down by external pressures. Here's an example to consider. Imagine someone who was once undervalued in a relationship. Instead of clinging to the past or seeking validation from their ex, they channel their energy into building a fulfilling life. They pursue their career goals, cultivate new hobbies, and form meaningful friendships. Over time, their ex sees the transformation and realizes what they lost. But by then, it doesn't matter. The person has grown so much that they no longer need that validation. This is the power of independence. It's not about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving to yourself that you are enough. The regret others feel is simply a reflection of their own shortcomings, not your worth. As you embrace independence, remember that it's a journey, not a destination. You'll face challenges and moments of self-doubt, but every step you take toward autonomy strengthens your confidence and self-respect. It also aligns with the Stoic principle of self-discipline, which emphasizes taking responsibility for your life and focusing on what you can control. Think about this. How different would your life look if you fully embraced your independence? How would it feel to make decisions without second-guessing yourself, to pursue your dreams without needing anyone's approval, and to live a life that reflects your true values? That vision is within your reach, and every small step you take toward independence brings you closer to it. The beauty of independence is that it's not just empowering for you, it's inspiring to those around you. When people see you thriving on your own terms, it challenges their perceptions and forces them to confront their own insecurities. For those who undervalued you, this realization often comes with a sense of regret. They see the strength and resilience you've developed and wonder why they didn't appreciate you sooner. Ultimately, embracing independence is about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your own story, and you have the ability to create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. When you reach this point, the opinions of those who undervalued you will no longer hold weight. You'll be too focused on your growth, your happiness, and your freedom to care about their regrets. And that's where true empowerment lies. 6. Stay calm and composed. There's a rare kind of power in staying calm and composed when faced with those who undervalue you. It's easy to lash out, to demand recognition, or to let emotions take control. But Stoicism teaches us a better path, a path of self-discipline and inner peace. When you respond to disrespect or disregard with grace and calm, you show a level of strength that's impossible to ignore. And that, in itself, makes them regret not valuing you. Why is staying calm so effective? Because it shifts the dynamic. When someone undervalues you, they often expect a reaction. They might anticipate frustration, anger, or an emotional plea for their attention. But when you respond with composure, you demonstrate that their opinion doesn't define you. You show them that you're unshaken, grounded, and in control of your emotions. Let's take a closer look at how to master this skill. The first step is recognizing that your response is entirely within your control. No one can force you to react a certain way. It's your choice. So the next time someone says or does something that diminishes your value, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Does their opinion truly matter to my growth and happiness? This simple pause can make all the difference. It gives you the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. And when your response is calm and measured, it speaks volumes about your character. It shows that you're not driven by the chaos of others, but by the clarity of your own values. Consider this. Imagine someone who undervalued you tries to provoke you, expecting an emotional reaction. Instead of rising to the bait, you maintain your composure. You calmly address the situation or even choose to walk away. In that moment, you've taken control of the narrative. They may not say it out loud, but internally, they'll feel the weight of their actions. They'll regret pushing away someone who carries themselves with such dignity and self-respect. But staying calm isn't just about how you interact with others, it's also about how you manage your inner dialogue. It's natural to feel hurt or frustrated when someone undervalues you. However, Stoicism reminds us that external events are beyond our control. What truly matters is how we interpret and respond to them. By cultivating a mindset of acceptance and resilience, you can maintain your inner peace no matter what happens around you. Here's a practical exercise to help you stay calm and composed. Practice mindfulness. This doesn't have to be a complicated process. Simply take a few moments each day to focus on your breath. Observe your thoughts without judgment and bring your attention to the present moment. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to stay grounded, even in challenging situations. Another powerful tool is perspective. When faced with someone who undervalues you, ask yourself, will this matter a week from now? A month? A year? Often you'll realize that the situation is temporary and insignificant in the grand scheme of things. This perspective can help you let go of the need to react and focus on what truly matters, your own growth and well-being. When you consistently demonstrate calm and composure, you set yourself apart. People notice when you don't let negativity affect you. They see your strength, your grace, and your confidence. And for those who undervalued you, this realization can be deeply unsettling. They'll see the stark contrast between their behavior and your response, and they'll regret not treating you with the respect you deserve. If this resonates with you and you're ready to embrace calmness as your superpower, show your support. Hit that like button and comment number 1 below to let me know you're on board with this approach. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more insights on building resilience, confidence, and self-worth. Your calmness is your power. It's a reflection of your inner strength and your commitment to living a life guided by Stoic principles. By staying composed, you not only protect your peace but also inspire others to rise to your level. And for those who fail to value you, your calm confidence will leave a lasting impression, one they'll regret for a long time to come. Stay with me for the next steps in this transformative journey. It only gets better from here. 7. Focus on your happiness. Happiness isn't something that others can give you, and it certainly isn't something you should depend on others to provide. True happiness comes from within, and when you focus on creating a life that genuinely fulfills you, the impact is profound, not just for you but also for those who may have undervalued you. They'll see a version of you that's radiant, content, and unshaken by their lack of appreciation. And that realization often leads to regret. But how do you focus on your happiness when you've been hurt or overlooked? The first step is to redefine what happiness means for you. It's not about fleeting moments of pleasure or external validation. It's about aligning your life with your values, passions, and goals. Think of happiness as a state of being that emerges when you live authentically and prioritize what truly matters to you. Start by asking yourself some simple but powerful questions. What brings me joy? What activities make me lose track of time? What kind of life would I feel excited to wake up to every day? Your answers will guide you toward the kind of happiness that feels real and sustainable. And as you begin to build this life, you'll notice that the opinions of those who undervalued you become less and less important. One of the most transformative aspects of focusing on your happiness is the freedom it brings. When you stop relying on others for your sense of worth, you take back control of your life. You realize that you're capable of creating joy and fulfillment on your own terms. This shift in mindset is incredibly empowering and aligns perfectly with Stoic principles. Stoicism emphasizes that our happiness should depend on our own actions and attitudes, not on external circumstances. Here's a practical way to start prioritizing your happiness. Incorporate small, joyful rituals into your daily life. These could be as simple as taking a walk in nature, listening to your favorite music, or spending time on a hobby you love. These moments of joy add up and create a foundation of happiness that doesn't rely on anyone else. Another important aspect is gratitude. When you take time to appreciate what you already have, it shifts your perspective from what's lacking to what's abundant. Gratitude is a practice that strengthens your resilience and enhances your overall sense of well-being. It's also a subtle but powerful way to reclaim your power. When you're focused on the positives in your life, the negatives, like being undervalued, lose their grip on you. Focusing on your happiness doesn't mean ignoring the hurt or frustration you may feel from being undervalued. It's about acknowledging those feelings without letting them dictate your life. Instead of dwelling on what others did or didn't do, channel that energy into creating experiences and memories that bring you joy. This not only heals you but also reinforces your sense of self-worth. Now, imagine how it feels to live a life that's centered on your happiness. Picture yourself waking up each day excited about what's ahead, surrounded by people, activities, and goals that align with your true self. This kind of fulfillment is magnetic. It draws others in, including those who didn't value you in the past. They'll see the transformation and wonder why they didn't appreciate you when they had the chance. But the beauty of this journey is that their regret becomes irrelevant. By the time they notice your happiness, you're too focused on your own joy to care about their opinions. This isn't about making them feel bad. It's about building a life that feels good for you. The regret they experience is simply a reflection of their own missed opportunity, not your responsibility. Focusing on your happiness also makes you more resilient. Life will always have challenges, but when your happiness is rooted in your own actions and mindset, you're better equipped to navigate those ups and downs. You learn to find joy even in difficult moments, and that's a kind of strength that no one can take away from you. As you embrace this journey, you'll find that happiness becomes a self-sustaining cycle. The more you focus on your joy, the more confident and fulfilled you feel. And the more confident and fulfilled you feel, the less you rely on others for validation. It's a transformation that not only benefits you but also inspires those around you. Ultimately, focusing on your happiness is one of the most empowering things you can do. It's a statement to the world and to yourself that you are worthy of joy, fulfillment, and peace. And when those who undervalued you see the life you've built, their regret will be inevitable. Not because you sought it out, but because you prioritized what truly matters, your own happiness. 8. Glow up inside and out. A glow up isn't just about appearances, it's about transforming every aspect of yourself, inside and out. It's about radiating confidence, strength, and self-love in ways that make others stop and take notice. And when you embark on this journey, those who once undervalued you can't help but regret their choices. They'll see a new, elevated version of you, and they'll realize they missed out on someone extraordinary. Let's start with the inside. The foundation of any glow-up lies in how you feel about yourself. This transformation begins with self-reflection and self-care. Ask yourself, what areas of my life feel stagnant or neglected? Where do I need to focus more attention? Whether it's your mental health, emotional well-being, or personal goals, take proactive steps to invest in yourself. Mental growth might mean diving into self-help books, taking up journaling, or practicing mindfulness to stay grounded. Emotional growth could involve setting healthy boundaries, seeking therapy, or learning to process your feelings constructively. These changes might not be visible to others immediately, but they create a sense of inner peace and confidence that shines through everything you do. Physical self-care is another important aspect of the glow-up. This isn't about conforming to societal beauty standards. It's about feeling good in your own skin. I think about what makes you feel strong, healthy, and vibrant. It could be regular exercise, eating nourishing foods, or simply dressing in a way that makes you feel confident and authentic. When you take care of your physical well-being, you naturally exude energy and charisma. Here's a key truth. When you glow up on the inside, the outside follows naturally. The way you carry yourself, your posture, your smile, your energy changes. You start to project an aura of self-assurance that's magnetic. And people, especially those who undervalued you, notice. They see that you've stepped into your power, and it forces them to reevaluate their perception of you. One of the most exciting parts of a glow-up is the freedom to reinvent yourself. Have you ever wanted to try a new style, learn a new skill, or explore a new hobby? Now's the time. Embrace the opportunity to experiment and discover what truly resonates with you. This isn't about impressing anyone else, it's about aligning your external life with your internal growth. But here's the thing. A glow-up isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about making small, consistent changes that add up over time. Maybe you start by committing to a morning routine that sets the tone for your day. Or perhaps you dedicate 15 minutes a day to learning something new. These small steps create momentum, and before you know it, you'll look back and see just how far you've come. As you transform, remember the importance of staying grounded in stoicism. A true glow-up isn't fueled by a desire for revenge or validation. It's rooted in self-respect and self-discipline. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control. And the most powerful thing you can control is how you show up for yourself every day. Imagine the impact of your glow-up on those who undervalued you. They see you thriving, exuding confidence and joy, and living a life that reflects your worth. They may not say it out loud, but their regret will be written all over their faces. And the best part, by the time they notice, you'll be so focused on your own growth and happiness that their regret will barely register. If you're ready to commit to your own glow up, let me know. Hit that like button and comment number 1 below if you're excited to start this journey of transformation. And if you want more inspiration and guidance to keep growing, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community that's all about self-improvement, confidence, and inner strength. Your glow up is your declaration to the world that you're no longer willing to settle for less than you deserve. It's a reflection of your resilience, your dedication, and your belief in your own worth. And as you continue to grow, you'll inspire others to do the same, whether they supported you from the start or not. Keep going, because the best is yet to come. Stay tuned for the next step. It's going to elevate your journey even further. 9. Limit contact strategically. One of the most powerful yet understated ways to make someone regret undervaluing you is to limit contact strategically. This isn't about playing games or seeking revenge. It's about protecting your energy and redirecting your focus toward people and opportunities that genuinely value you. By creating distance, you allow the other person to experience the void your absence leaves behind. Think of it this way. When someone undervalues you, they often assume you'll always be available, that your kindness, support, and presence are constants they can rely on. By strategically limiting contact, you disrupt this assumption. You're not being unkind or dramatic. You're simply prioritizing your well-being and setting a clear boundary. But how do you do this without creating unnecessary conflict? Start by evaluating the nature of your interactions. Are they one-sided? Are you the one always reaching out, checking in, or making an effort? If so, it might be time to pull back. Give yourself permission to step back and let the relationship breathe. When you stop being so readily available, you create space for the other person to recognize what they've been taking for granted. This doesn't mean cutting someone off entirely, unless the relationship is toxic or harmful. Instead, it's about being intentional with your time and energy. For instance, if someone undervalues your contributions at work, consider reducing the extra effort you put in for their benefit. If a friend only reaches out when they need something, allow yourself to respond on your own terms, rather than immediately dropping everything. What makes this strategy effective is that it gives the other person time to reflect. In the silence of your absence, they're left to consider the value you brought to their life. They may not realize it right away, but over time they'll begin to see what they lost. And that realization often comes with a sense of regret. One of the key principles of Stoicism is focusing on what you can control. Limiting contact is a way of exercising this principle. You can't control how someone values you, but you can control how much access they have to your time, energy, and attention. This shift in dynamics is not only empowering for you, but it also sends a subtle yet powerful message. Your presence is a privilege, not a given. Limiting contact strategically also allows you to redirect your energy toward what truly matters. Use this time to invest in your personal growth, pursue your passions, and strengthen relationships with people who genuinely value you. As you focus on building a fulfilling life, you'll find that the opinions of those who undervalued you matter less and less. This process might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to prioritizing others over yourself. But remember, creating space isn't an act of selfishness, it's an act of self-preservation. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to let anyone diminish it. Think about the ripple effect of this strategy. By limiting contact, you not only protect your peace, but also demonstrates self-respect. This shift in behavior can be incredibly impactful. Those who undervalued you will notice the change, even if they don't admit it. They'll start to question why you've pulled back. And in doing so, they'll be forced to confront their own behavior. But here's the most important part. By the time they feel the full weight of your absence, you'll already be thriving. You'll have built a life so fulfilling and aligned with your values that their regret will feel like an afterthought. You'll be too focused on your own growth and happiness to dwell on what they lost. Ultimately, limiting contact strategically is about reclaiming your power. It's about setting boundaries that reflect your worth and prioritizing relationships that bring mutual respect and value. And while their regret may be inevitable, it's not your goal. Your goal is to create a life that feels authentic, fulfilling, and true to who you are. And in doing so, you'll show them and yourself just how valuable you've always been. 10. Forgive but don't forget. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, not the person who wronged you. It's a way of releasing the emotional weight of resentment and anger so you can move forward with peace and clarity. But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It's about learning from the experience and ensuring that the same mistakes don't happen again. This powerful balance of forgiving without forgetting is one of the most transformative steps you can take, and it naturally leads those who undervalued you to regret their actions. When someone doesn't value you, it's tempting to hold on to bitterness. After all, it's a natural reaction to being hurt or overlooked. But ask yourself, who is that bitterness really hurting? More often than not, it's you. Carrying resentment weighs you down and keeps you tethered to the very situation you're trying to rise above. Forgiveness, on the other hand, frees you. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you're excusing their behavior or letting them back into your life without boundaries. It simply means you're choosing to let go of the anger and hurt they caused so you can reclaim your peace of mind. This act of release is empowering because it shifts the focus back to you, your healing, your growth, and your future. But while forgiveness is freeing, forgetting is unwise. Forgetting can leave you vulnerable to repeating the same patterns with the same people. Instead, remember the lessons you've learned. Let those lessons guide your future decisions and interactions, ensuring you're treated with the respect and value you deserve. The Stoic perspective on forgiveness aligns perfectly with this approach. Stoicism teaches us to accept that people act according to their nature, shaped by their circumstances, experiences, and flaws. Understanding this can help you view their actions with compassion rather than anger. But Stoicism also emphasizes self-respect and boundaries. While you can forgive someone for undervaluing you, it doesn't mean you have to allow them the same access to your life again. Think of forgiveness as an internal process. It's not about confronting the person who wronged you or demanding an apology. It's about sitting with your emotions, processing them, and ultimately deciding to let them go. Journaling can be a helpful tool in this process. Write down how you feel, what you've learned, and what you want to release. Seeing your thoughts on paper can bring clarity and closure. Forgiveness also changes the way others perceive you. When you carry yourself with grace and peace, it's noticeable. The person who undervalued you may expect bitterness or anger, but instead they see someone who has risen above the situation. This contrast can be striking, making them reflect on their actions and regret their lack of appreciation. Imagine someone who underestimated your value. They expected you to hold on to the pain, perhaps even lash out or try to prove your worth. Instead, they see you thriving, calm, composed, and at peace. That emotional strength is far more impactful than any confrontation or outburst could ever be. It's a quiet but powerful way of showing them that their actions didn't define you. Forgiving also creates space for new opportunities and relationships. When you're no longer consumed by resentment, you have more energy and focus to invest in things that truly matter, your goals, passions, and the people who genuinely value you. And as you continue to grow and evolve, the person who undervalued you will feel the regret of being left behind. Now, forgiveness doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires patience and self-compassion. There will be days when the hurt resurfaces, and that's okay. What matters is your commitment to moving forward, even if it's one small step at a time. As you practice forgiveness, don't be surprised if those who undervalued you attempt to re-enter your life. They might come back with apologies or excuses, hoping to regain the access they once had. This is where the don't forget part comes into play. Be kind but firm. Remember what you've learned and prioritize your well-being over their regret. You're under no obligation to give them the same role in your life they once had. If this resonates with you and you're ready to embrace forgiveness as a tool for growth, do me a favor. Like this video and comment number 1 below to let me know you're ready to release what no longer serves you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel for more empowering insights and tools to help you thrive. Forgiveness is your path to freedom, and not forgetting is your shield of wisdom. Together, they allow you to move forward with clarity, strength, and peace. And when those who undervalued you see the person you've become, their regret will be undeniable. But by then, you'll be too focused on your own growth to even notice. Stay tuned for the final step in this journey. It's the most empowering one yet. 11. Let your success speak for itself. Success is the ultimate form of clarity, not for others, but for yourself. It's the undeniable proof of your hard work, resilience, and growth. When you allow your success to speak for itself, you're not just showing those who undervalued you what they missed. You're also affirming your own value in the most powerful way possible. This isn't about revenge, it's about living a life so fulfilling and authentic that it naturally silences doubt, both yours and theirs. But what does it mean to let your success speak for itself? It begins with defining success on your terms. Society often tries to dictate what success should look like. A certain job title, income level, or social status. But true success isn't one size fits all. It's deeply personal. It's about achieving what matters most to you, whether that's building a thriving career, creating a loving family, mastering a skill, or simply living with peace and purpose. To start, ask yourself, what does success mean to me? This question is crucial because it shifts your focus inward, away from external validation. Maybe your version of success is owning a small business that aligns with your passions. Or perhaps it's becoming financially independent, writing a novel, or finding balance in your life. Whatever it is, make sure it reflects your values and aspirations, not someone else's expectations. Once you've defined your version of success, the next step is to commit to it fully. Success requires consistency, effort, and patience. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard, and staying focused on your goals. This dedication is what sets apart those who succeed from those who don't. And as you work toward your goals, you'll notice something remarkable. Your confidence grows. You start to believe in your abilities, not because someone else told you to, but because you've seen what you're capable of achieving. As you reach milestones and accomplish your goals, resist the urge to shout your success from the rooftops. Instead, let your actions and results do the talking. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, people can't help but notice. They'll see the changes in you, your confidence, your achievements, and your unwavering sense of purpose. And for those who undervalued you, this realization often hits hardest. They'll see that you've thrived without their support, and that can be a powerful wake-up call. One of the most important lessons from Stoicism is the concept of focusing on what you can control. You can't control whether others value or regret their actions, but you can control your own growth and success. By channeling your energy into what truly matters to you, you take back your power and direct it toward building the life you deserve. Let's consider a scenario. Imagine someone who once dismissed your ideas or contributions, whether at work, in a friendship, or in a romantic relationship. Over time, you've dedicated yourself to your goals. Maybe you've earned a promotion, launched a creative project, or simply cultivated a sense of inner peace. They see this transformation and can't help but regret their lack of appreciation. But here's the beauty of it. By the time they notice, their opinion is irrelevant. You're too busy living the life you've built to care. Another key aspect of letting your success speak for itself is humility. Success doesn't mean flaunting your achievements or seeking validation. True success is rooted in quiet confidence and gratitude. When you remain grounded, even as you thrive, it not only reflects your strength but also inspires others. And for those who undervalued you, this humility is often what makes your success even more striking. It's proof that you didn't need their approval to excel, you just needed to believe in yourself. As you continue to succeed, remember to celebrate your journey. Acknowledge how far you've come and give yourself credit for the effort it took to get there. Each step of the journey is an accomplishment, and by appreciating the process, you stay connected to your growth. This mindset aligns with Stoicism, which encourages us to find contentment in the journey rather than being solely focused on the outcome. The most beautiful thing about letting your success speak for itself is that it liberates you from the need to prove anything to anyone. Success becomes an intrinsic part of who you are, not something you chase for approval. And when others see this, when they witness your confidence, your growth, and your achievements, it forces them to confront their own shortcomings. For those who undervalued you, this realization often comes with a deep sense of regret. But their regret isn't the goal. The goal is your growth, your fulfillment, and your happiness. By letting your success speak for itself, you create a life that reflects your worth in every way. And that, more than anything, is the most satisfying outcome. You've risen above, not for them, but for yourself. And that's a success that no one can take away. Life has a way of teaching us that our value doesn't diminish just because someone fails to see it. The journey we've walked through in these 11 transformative steps is a testament to that truth. Each action, whether it's focusing on self-growth, setting boundaries, or letting your success speak for itself, is a powerful reminder that your worth is not determined by how others perceive you, but by how you perceive and treat yourself. By embracing these strategies, you're not just making others regret undervaluing you, you're stepping into a version of yourself that doesn't need their recognition. You've created a life that reflects your authenticity, your strengths, and your values. And as you continue to grow, thrive, and radiate confidence, the opinions of those who overlooked you will fade into the background. Their regret is simply a side effect of your transformation, not its purpose. This journey isn't about revenge, it's about redemption, redeeming your time, energy, and focus for what truly matters. It's about building relationships that uplift you, pursuing goals that fulfill you, and finding happiness that sustains you. By embodying these principles, you align yourself with the Stoic ideals of resilience, self-discipline, and inner peace. Now, I encourage you to take these steps and make them your own. Reflect on what resonates most with you and start small, one step at a time. Your transformation won't happen overnight, but with patience and perseverance, you'll look back and see how far you've come. And when that moment arrives, you'll realize something profound. You no longer need their regret, because your life is so full of value and purpose that their opinions no longer matter. If this journey has inspired you, I'd love for you to share your thoughts. Let's keep the conversation going, because your story matters and your growth is worth celebrating. Thank you for being here, for investing in yourself, and for taking the step toward a life where you are valued, not by others, but by yourself. Here's to your growth, your confidence, and the incredible journey ahead. You've got this.